I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
And welcome in. It's a Friday edition. It's the Daily Puck Drop. It's Jason Puckett here with you, along with the great go-to guy, Jim Moore. We are broadcasting, at least I am, from the beautiful Puck Sports Studios, which is my office. Built by Limback Lumber Contractors. They offer free deliveries from everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. They've got the largest stock moldings in the Northwest. They've got old school service. They've been doing it since 1930. Give Limback Lumber a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Follow on all the social media platforms on Twitter and Instagram at Puck2040, TikTok, Puck_sports, and Facebook at Jason Puckett. And, of course, at Cougs Go for the one and only go-to guy, Jim Moore. I was reading that off. I didn't see. Are the dogs? Is that what you showed?
Yeah, one of them, we went out on our morning hike, and one of them stacked out here on the floor, and the other one was just right here on the bed.
And what is that? Is that like some type of bear blanket? What do we got there? Some animal print blanket there?
I don't know. We're renting again. It's somebody else's blanket. I don't know. I would. This looks like I'm back in the 70s or whatever with that kind of blanket. They got quite a few of those blankets.
Do you agree?
I have a gift for you. Can I show you what kind of gift?
Sure. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah. What do you got? Okay, what's the gift?
It's a quick story. Jeff Patterson. I want to thank Jeff Patterson. He lives down in the Auburn Lake Taps area, and I was home last week. And I was staying at my mom's house, and her husband worked with Jeff. And Jeff used to read my columns, and then now he was listening to our show on KJR, and I showed him how to get to pucksports.com and all that. So he's an avid listener, and he decided to make this. He had a buddy make this gift for us, and he just decided he wanted to do that just to show his appreciation for, listening to the show for however long I was there, 2.5 years, and you before that. So he made one for me, and he made one for you. And here's what it looks like. I don't know if I can do this on the camera or not, but look at this, Puck. It's really cool. You see that?
Yeah, it's an American flag with a Coug, the symbol in the middle of it. What is it? Is it just a picture, right?
Well, it's a piece of wood.
Piece of wood. Yeah, I got you. No, that's beautiful. Yeah,
pretty
America's
cool, huh?
team. Yeah, because we're America's team.
That's right. You were always saying we're America's team.
Yeah, and Jordan Reffett's trying to steal it, and he needs to stop. So, Reffett, when you're listening and watching this, stop trying to steal it. We are America's team. Why is he calling
the Huskies America's team?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, then, but why do you call the Cougs America's team?
Because we are America's team. People love us. America loves the Cougars.
We should be this year. I mean,
we are.
Dog, the little guy, and what's that one? The little train that could, or whatever that thing is.
Yeah, the little engine that could.
Oh, the little engine. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm getting my stories mixed up, but yeah, I think we should be popular around the country, shouldn't we?
I would think so. I would think anybody that's pulling for the underdog. Of course, us and the Beavs. We've got a shot. We've got a shot at it with 13%. A 13% shot for the college football playoffs. Let's go. We need some things to happen, though. Yeah, we need the Red Raiders to keep winning.
Yeah. You see Wilder's story in the Times?
I did. Yep. Yeah, he's right. No, he's right. Other than wanting Washington to win, I don't really care. I don't. They can just lose every game, and if that keeps us out, then it keeps us out. I honestly don't care.
I mean, I want Indiana to wipe the turf with them, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
What's the matter with us?
Nothing's the matter with us. God, we're fans. I tell this to Elise and Jordan every week when we do the podcast. I said, I hope you lose. They get a kick out of it, I think.
God, I'm worried about that game, though. I think the Huskies might win it with Indiana having a backup quarterback.
But,
they haven't really beaten anybody.
Hey. Well, they throttled Nebraska.
Yeah. And, after Washington, they can continue to say that. They still haven't beaten anybody because the Huskies are no good either.
Ooh, there you go. That's a shot. Bah. Well, we got
good. They aren't good.
We have a Trojan horse. We have got a Trojan horse. on Saturday. One, we got things are working in our favor. One, Indiana's our color. They're crimson. You know, it's a little different. It's more of a reddish crimson, but I think they call it crimson and green. That's not one. Two, we got Mike Gastineau on our side.
We do have the gas man on our side.
And everybody loves the gas man. Yeah. There's no one that doesn't love the gas man. So the gas man's on our side, and we're on the gas man's side. I'm told he's there. He is in Bloomington.
Don't you think you could find somebody that doesn't like Mike Gastineau, though?
No, I don't think so.
Like I've always said that, you know, like Rick Riz. Do you think you could find anybody who doesn't like Rick Riz? He's always so positive and upbeat and fun. But there's got to be one person out there that doesn't like Rick Riz. There's got to be somebody out there like,
God, who would that be?
You and I have a bunch of people. Like, I think we're good guys. You and I are good guys, generally speaking. Honestly, I think we are. But God, there's people that just think we're scum of the earth.
Well, of course. I mean, listen, in our chat, I'm sure I could find somebody in our chat, you know, that whether it's on YouTube or Twitter that would say, hey, I hate both of you. Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the nature of the business.
We're not nice guys, though.
I know we are. But
I can be a dick. I can be a dick. I own it. I can be a dick. I know that.
Well, you're not going to please everyone. Everyone, you know that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
but Gastineau, I mean, he's
so that's number two. I got a third one.
Was the greatest sports talk show ever.
Well, I don't know. You know,
well, what do you put above that? Oh, us. I know, Danny David Moore.
Yeah.
No, don't you?
I enjoyed them. I enjoyed them immensely. Yes.
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
Yeah.
Although I don't like what they're doing now. They're doing their little thing on Twitter recently, and it used to start at 11, and now lately they've been doing it at 10. And I'm going to have a talk with them. Stop doing that. Stop doing your
every Friday.
Your Twitter Spaces at 10. Stop doing it at 10. Do it at 11. Do it at 12. Stop doing it at 10. All right.
Well, you better talk to New York Vinny too. Then he and Michael Knight are doing something on Facebook right around 10 o'clock every day.
God, stop it, Vinny.
Come on, I teed it up. I want to hear Vinny.
I'm not going to. I'll tell you what. These guys, these Dominicans, you never know what's going to go on with these guys. The Dominican Republic. God, I love Vinny.
Yeah, he was bummed out about his Mets going down.
I love Vinny. We were talking before we started the show how much we there's a great video out there, by the way, of Tony Ventrella passed last week. I don't think did we discuss it? I mean,
you and I did not.
Yeah, I mean, he just the Mount Rushmore of TV sports personalities. At least, for me, growing up, was Tony Ventrella, Bruce King, and Wayne Cody. And then later, because he wasn't around the same time, but he came later. Well, he kind of was around the same time, but he came just a little bit later. Was Rod Simons as well. But those three in particular, I couldn't get enough of those three. I would stay up late, and I would flip around all three of them. And they would always kind of be staggered a little bit. They'd kind of start on time, but then they'd be staggered. And I would like, okay, which one's, what's Tony going to do tonight? I mean, the GOAT was Bruce King for me. But then Bruce, and then what's Wayne doing? I loved him. And but we were talking about how much we appreciated Tony before we started the show. There's a great video out there. This was shot like 8-9 years ago. Tony, I think, was he still working for the Seahawks or not? Or was he done with the Seahawks?
He might have still been doing Seahawks stuff.
He started to do it's funny in the video, Jim takes a shot at podcast. That's what I love.
And did I? What I say?
Yeah, you just said, God, everyone has a podcast now. I don't get it.
Yeah. Well,
but you are in like 7 years of your career at 710. And so anyways, Tony was doing a video interview series, and he was interviewing people in his car, in his Alfa Romeo. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so it was like a 9-minute interview. Go search it up. Tony Ventrella, Jim Moore, Alfa Romeo, and go search up. It's really good. 9 minutes. It's very funny. You're funny. Ventrella's funny. It's great.
Well, yeah, thanks. I just, we're talking about Tony, and everybody's been talking about Tony and how much we miss him. I mean, he was just one of those guys that was, he always did such a great job, had a great personality, but I appreciated the most about him was that he didn't take himself too seriously. Because there's so many
No.
people that do, and you can still do a good job
Ugh.
at whatever you're doing and not take yourself seriously. And Tony Ventrella was all of that. He was
And that
just always had a smile when you saw him, It was just,
it's
God,
great.
so well liked and for good reason.
And it was like 9 years ago, and you guys were talking about in the episode about how he appreciated you. You're working for the flagship, but you're just going to sit there and and toe the company line. You were going to give your opinion on things. It's just it's incredible. Like we're still talking about this kind of stuff like 9 years later, where people work at certain places and they toe the company line. They don't tell anybody how they really feel about anything. It was good, and he was like, "You got to be yourself." You can't just sit there and just sugarcoat everything, because it reminded me, I was watching video of it today. You and I both like Chris Russo, Mad Dog Russo.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Russo did an interview the other day, I think it was yesterday, with Dan Patrick. And they were talking about the handling of, ESPN's coverage of the Lakers and then Bronny James and LeBron. And he told Dan Patrick that he was getting blowback from ESPN management about how critical he has been of the Lakers and Bronny James and all that. And they were going to talk about it on the day after that he made his debut. And he told management, he told like Stephen A. Smith on the show, he said, "Hey, I'll toe the company line if you want me to. And if you don't want me to sit there and rip it because management is like playing this whole storyline up," because that's what it was. I mean, it was an orchestrated, crafted storyline by ESPN, to fit this narrative and the storyline that they wanted to play all day long. And Stephen A. Smith, to his credit, said, no, don't do that. Don't. You just give your opinion, and whatever. If people kill you for it, they kill you for it. Let's just do it. And he did.
Well, good on Stephen A. Smith for saying that, because he's a newspaper guy at heart.
Yeah, you're exactly right. People don't remember that.
Yeah, he used to cover the Sixers for the Philadelphia Inquirer, I think. But,
yep. Yeah, you got it.
No, that's the other thing, Puck. I always told myself, and granted, I did get fired twice from the radio business, but I always told myself, I wanted to be able to look myself in the mirror and not be anybody I'm not.
I don't think you got fired from KJR. They just said, "We're not renewing your contract."
Well, whatever. But when I first got into this, I thought, God, I got to know everything about everything, like Seahawks, Sounders, Kraken. And then after a while, I just thought, God, I want to just be who I am. I want to be myself. And if it works out, great. And if it doesn't work out, I can look myself in the mirror and go, well, I wasn't trying to be anybody I'm not. So anyway, so here I am now. So
wait a minute. I didn't even get to the third point with the Hoosiers on Saturday. Okay. Point number one is they have similar colors. It's crimson. Point number two, we have the gas man on our side. Then that got us sidetracked here now to Tony Ventrella, I think. And then point number three is you mentioned the quarterback is out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You know who the backup is?
Well, since I listened to your podcast yesterday, I do know who the quarterback is. Yeah. And I do know who his dad is, but could you tell everyone who doesn't know?
Tavion Jackson is the starting quarterback for the Indiana Hoosiers. His father is Ray Jackson, who is an outstanding defensive back for fighting, scrapping America's team, the Cougs, in the 90s. Mid-90s, Rose Bowl team. Ray Jackson was great. Number 2, awesome. And, that's the starting quarterback. So this is all panning out for us. Come on, let's go.
So we're hoping Ray's kid does really well tomorrow and covers the 6.5 and makes everyone happy.
Well, duh. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something about that game. So game day's going to Bloomington.
Correct.
Because of Lee Corso being a coach there.
Yeah, and
do you think
the writing's on the wall? I think it's the writing on the wall that.
Do you think this is going to be the final one for Lee Corso?
I think it could be. It should be. I watched last week, and what I don't like about it is they think they're doing him a favor, and they're not. It's embarrassing, and it's hard on those guys. They're propping them up there, and they need to stop. They just need to stop doing it.
Yeah, Puck, that's a real delicate one, and I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, telling you that I was thinking about writing about Lee Corso and that the time is up. And I'm going to do it this week in the News Tribune.
Do it.
Yeah, and it's not like gee, they got to get rid of Lee Corso. He shouldn't be doing this anymore. It's one of those things like, remember Bob Robertson toward the end? God, that was a
Yes.
tough situation on the Cougar broadcast. Matt Chazanow, Jessamine, everybody handled that really well.
But it was uncomfortable. I remember listening
Yeah.
to it. It was rough, you know, and I remember he was relegated to reading promos. And I think wasn't he going like back to commercial break or something? It just was, I understood what he did. He lost his wife and this is what he wanted to do. And I get it, but it wasn't good. It just wasn't.
You got to know. I mean, you got to know when your time is up, don't you? And I think about that quite a bit. I mean, I'm 67. I know that most of my career is in the rearview mirror. But I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy that gets yanked. Hey, man, we got to yank you out of the press box. You know, I want to know when my time is up. And you're right, though. They're not doing him any favors.
No.
I watch every week now, and I just go, I almost sit
on
the edge of my seat going, please get your words out, Lee. Please finish your sentence.
And that's all that anyone talks about after he's on. Is that he can't talk, he can't get his words out. And God bless Kirk Herbstreit. He's out there, he's trying to help him. You know, he'll mispronounce something, he'll call the team. It's just they think they're doing him a benefit, and I get it. I understand how they feel. But they're not. They're not doing him a benefit by propping him up there. You know, it's but they don't see it. You know, it's hard.
No, I don't know. I think they do see it. I think people still like seeing whatever mascot head he's going to put on. And honestly, I know a lot of people don't like Pat McAfee, but he's brought some energy to the show.
Oh, yeah.
And Nick Saban, I didn't think Nick Saban would be as good as he is, but he's
great.
Fantastic.
He's great at it. He's absolutely great. Yeah, I really do like Lee Corso. I do, but I just think that it has become when he does come on, it's uncomfortable to watch. And that shouldn't be why you're watching, right? College game day. It shouldn't be.
Well,
that shouldn't be it.
I think you're right. I haven't looked around the country to see. Maybe it's a light week for big games, and that might be part of why they're going to Indiana. Because I mean, Washington shouldn't be on game day with the team they have this year.
I mean, that's a good. But I think it's a lot of that. I think this could be his last. I don't know if it's his last show. Maybe it is.
But it should be. It should be like, hey, this is a good way to go out, going back to where you were the coach.
Yeah.
You know, do some stuff. You know, have him walk around campus. You know, and.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about Bill Doba when he coached there, you know.
Maybe that's what they're doing, because I mean, really, the game. I'm just trying to go. I want to make sure I got the best game of the week. I mean, you could say number 8 LSU at Texas A&M. That's 8 versus 14. You got Notre Dame. I mean, really, the game they should be at probably is Notre Dame and Navy. You know, Navy's undefeated, a great story. So I vibe with you. I think you're probably right. This probably could be it. And maybe this is this final show, and they're going to announce it, and and because he used to coach there, and he's a legendary coach, that he goes off, in the sunset. Man, that'd be a great touch. I mean, that show is fabulous, and it's he's a massive part of that show and why it's so good.
Yeah, I don't miss it. I mean, I'm gonna miss it if it's ever gone. What I'm saying is that every Saturday morning I get up and I go, God, I gotta watch game day.
Oh yeah, I got you.
And then you want to see Old Crimson, and it's always there. And now the Beavers are there too. Did you see the Beaver flag last week?
Yeah. It's been there for a while.
And then you're sitting there hoping that they pick the Coug game. You want to see which guys think the Cougs are going to win and which guys don't. And yeah, the whole thing is just fun. Scotty Scheffler last week picking games as a Texas grad.
Oh, the best was him taking a shot at Louisville.
Oh, yeah. That was
great. It was great. I think the people of Louisville are great, but
he talked about being in the jail cell, nothing to do in there. Yeah.
It was good. It was really he was really, really good. Yeah. Well, but you to your original point, just to wrap it up, I mean, Washington does have a shot to beat them. I mean, what's a backup quarterback? You're right. Indiana hasn't really beaten anyone. So yeah, I mean, yeah, of course they do. And they're fat and happy. They're riding high. The coach is a real big shit talker. I mean, it's
I don't know that about him.
Oh yeah, he's shit talker, and like he likes to do interviews. He likes the microphone in his face. He likes to talk about his program. He likes to talk about himself a lot. Yeah.
Well, it's a great story.
It is. It's great.
I say it's a great story, and I don't even know a whole lot about Indiana football. But I mean,
It's
they've
the
always been
entire James
downtrodden.
Madison football team is playing at Indiana. That's what he did. He was the former coach at James Madison. He literally took the entire team.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. It's just picked them up and dropped them in Bloomington.
But yeah, when you think of Indiana, you just think basketball, basketball, basketball. You don't think, and if you think about football at all, it's always, well, they're always a losing team every year.
Yeah.
But so it's pretty cool for them what's going on there.
It's a cool. When I talked to Elise this week on Puck the Huskies, that she was fired up to go. She'd never been to Bloomington. She's going to go into Assembly Hall because she's a huge Bobby Knight fan. Go check that out, and yeah, it'd be real cool. It's that I've heard Bloomington is an awesome college environment. Like it's really cool.
Now, what happened with Refit? He couldn't take an hour out of his time in Mexico to do the Puck the Huskies broadcast.
We have a working theory, do Elise and I, that he had chimed in the night before. Hey, I'm in Mexico. I'll do it tomorrow. But it was 11 o'clock our time, so I don't know how late it was there. Wherever he was. Anyways, we think he got pretty tuned up. He got tuned up pretty hard that night and then just slept. He was hungover and slept through it. And we're like, that's fine.
Well, it just all depends, though. Did he take all the kids to Mexico, or is it just he and his wife?
I don't know. That would
because
be.
When you have 8 kids,
yeah, I'm not sure.
You can't drink too much the night before because you have to wake up the next day and know what you're in store for. I mean, that's not going to work if you're hungover with 8 kids.
No, my guess is they didn't take the kids. I mean, think how expensive that would have been. I mean, think about what's a plane ticket you think to go to Mexico right now? $1,000 for each round trip? 900?
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Moses Lake. He had to drive to Spokane or Seattle.
Well, yeah. I don't think there's a direct from Moses Lake to Cabo.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. Is there a little airport in Moses Lake?
There is a little airport. You can fly out of Moses Lake.
Does Alaska fly in? They don't fly in there though.
I want it maybe Horizon. I think there's like a little one trip a day or something that flies out of there. But yeah, so we believe he was hungover and didn't participate. But that's fine. Elise was great. Go check it out before the game tomorrow. She dishes on the what the keys are to the game and all that, and preparing for Indiana and their defense and their offense and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to get caught up on the latest, Elise has been hammering their special teams all season long. She continues to hammer the special teams. And then also go check out the Old Crimson Cougars podcast with you, myself, Paul Sorensen, Jamie Vinnick from CougFan.com. We talk about the game leading up this Saturday against San Diego State, and we talked about the start of the show. They still have an outside shot. You mentioned Wilner's piece, 13% chance to make the college football playoff, which would just be incredible. But, as John wrote, we need Boise State to win and just win the Mountain West. And they got UNLV this week, then San Diego State, Nevada, at San Jose State, at Wyoming, and then Oregon State. We need, as John noted, you need Notre Dame to lose, and they got Navy tomorrow, then Florida State. They're not going to lose that. Virginia, Army, maybe Army, and then they'll finish up the season at USC. And then, as John noted, you need Texas Tech. I don't know if you need Texas Tech to win the Big 12, but I don't know, maybe don't at least finish in the top couple. But they're currently 5-2 and 3-1. They're at TCU, then at number 10, Iowa State, Colorado at home, at Oklahoma State, and then West Virginia. So, yeah, there you go. It's going to be a long shot, but at least they're in the conversation. And I believe the first rankings come out. I don't know if it's I think it's next week or in 2 weeks. I got to check.
I think it's in 2 weeks. So whatever the Monday is. After
I think it's November 5th, I believe.
Yeah.
November 5th is when it comes out.
You know what struck me as very odd and funny, even?
Yes.
Because during the Old Crimson podcast this week, you chastised me for talking about John Mateer maybe leaving the program at the end of the year, and that Jake Dickert, maybe he'll be leaving. It's going to be tough to keep him. And as I recall, you were saying, God, can't you just enjoy the moment? Just enjoy what we have going on over there and quit worrying about stuff like that. I'm thinking, God, Puck's making me feel bad here. Maybe I should, take his advice. And then I'm listening to your bullshit yesterday. Well, to be honest with you, everybody, yeah, we're going to be favored in all of our last 5 games, but God, I just, have this feeling that we're going to lose one of those 5. Well, what the fuck, man? Come on. Why would you do that? And you give it, I mean, that's fine that you're doing that because you're probably right, but don't talk out of both sides of your mouth and give me shit about thinking Mateer and Dickert are going to be goners at the end of the year.
But
you can't.
First of all, we already talked about that like 2 weeks ago on the Old Crimson podcast.
Well,
we all agreed.
You and I
you and I agreed that we see one more loss on the remaining schedule.
Who?
You and me both agreed when we looked at the schedule that we think there's one more loss. I didn't
say that.
I will find the tape and I will send it to you. Because
Sorensen. There's people out there right now, Husky fans, going, "Well, yeah, you guys are for sure gonna Coug it at some point." Screw you, whoever's thinking that.
Hey,
not this year.
But Sorensen got mad at us.
Oh God, Paul really does get mad.
Yeah, but he got mad at us when we did it 2 weeks ago. I just said I looked.
You notice how red his face gets when he gets mad?
That's the alcohol.
His face is red anyway, but
that's the alcohol.
He really gets. It's like a bright red.
Yeah, that's the alcohol, though. That's the booze. That's red cheeks.
You think he's drinking during the show?
Of course, he's drinking the second he wakes up in the morning. God, look at him.
I always have to tell him I love him because I worry that he's not going to love me anymore because he always just interrupts me, and and again, I love our collective, but Mateer. Well, anyway, Mateer's going to get 7 figures.
This for people who did not listen
and then this is your turn. This is your time to talk about the barbecue joint that's paying him and
Miss Huddy's. He's got a barbecue joint, Miss Huddy's. He's got a truck. He's got a truck, and he's got the. Hold on, he's got the casino in Spokane now. It's paying him a bunch of money.
Hey, you think Cam Ward, when Miami came calling, and said, "Hey, man, you're offering 7 figures, but God, I got this truck."
Got a truck
from Brotherton and Renton or wherever it is.
No, it's not Brotherton and Renton. It's the Valley Buick GMC.
And I don't want to make fun of our collective. I don't. I really don't.
Sounds like you are.
People are offering what they're offering, but we can't measure up to these other mega programs.
Well, if more people would donate,
start paying more money, and guys like me, and I'm on a fixed income now, and you're not paying me shit. So I can't afford to do anything. Would I lose you there?
No, I'm just anybody that wants to donate to the 1890 Club for just $18.90 a month, CougarCollective.org.
All right. So I kind of
they can't commit. But listen, it's not being negative. I just think that I'm realistic. I look at the schedule and I base it on their defense. I just think that they are capable of kicking a game at the end of the season. I mean, Oregon, they got to go to Corvallis. It's not like Oregon State is bad. Oregon State's good, or above average, and they got two very good running backs, and we have a problem stopping the run. So, I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster.
God, could Oregon State lose on purpose to us?
That's what Wilner talked about. I kind of laughed at that. Yeah, if no one read Wilner's piece, he just kind of theorized if it gets to they play at the end of the year. And if Wazoo has run the table and Boise State continues to run the table, and by the way, their resume, for anyone that wants to doubt it, will look good, by the way. If they go 11-1 and their one loss is to a 12-1 Mountain West champion, by the way, whose only loss of the season just is by 3 points to the undefeated number 1 team in America, that is going to make the Cougars resume look a hell of a lot better than people think. So, but he theorized at the end of his piece, if you go read Wilner, that the Beavers would kick the game on purpose, or should.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they just get together?
Be a tough one. I'm with you. I heard you talking about it yesterday, but I think it's kind of cool that we're going to play the Beavers twice next year.
It's awesome. They should have done it. They should have done it this year. And by the way, their schedule for 2025 is awesome. I mean, it's just an awesome schedule. These are great destinations. First of all, if no one's ever been to Fort Collins in Colorado, where Colorado State is, go. If you like beer and you're like a real
So
beer,
you've been there?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It is stunning.
How far from Denver?
Oh, God,
an hour?
Maybe hour and a half, maybe.
Okay.
It's stunning. It's stunning how beautiful it is, and it's like this beer It's like craft brewery capital. It's just a great town. So you got Fort Collins, which is awesome. Then they got back-to-back weeks. They're going to go to Oxford to play Ole Miss, and then the next week go to Charlottesville to go play Virginia and Inner Sandman. So everyone's going to be excited.
Yeah. Well, no, I was already looking at the schedule. I was talking to my wife about it, and since I'm retired, I was like, God, why don't we drive back? Because I think the Virginia game's on September 27th.
No, they changed it. They just changed it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, the Ole Miss. When I just said the schedule, I thought maybe you would have heard that, but
no, I know, but I did, but I thought you were wrong.
No, I
was going to correct the host here.
They just changed it.
Okay, so what is it? It's October 11th and
October 11th is the Ole Miss game. The next week is October 18th is Virginia.
Okay, even better, because I was thinking originally I thought, well, September 27th, get a Sprinter van or something, go back there.
Yeah,
kill some time for 2 weeks and then show up in Oxford.
Stay there. Just go to the Oxford game, go to Ole Miss, and then just drive around the South, bring the golf clubs.
Yeah.
And then go to Charlottesville.
Yeah. That's what we're going to plan on doing.
It's awesome. That's what I want to do. It's great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I like our schedule next year, and we're doing the best to cobble together, given the situation. So
that guy is right. Fort Collins is very much like Bend.
Oh, is it?
It's very Bend-like, yes.
Oh, okay. What are you going to say now? Go ahead. There are a bunch of white people there too, Puck?
Oh, yeah. Ton of white people, lots of dogs. A lot of Patagonia jackets in Fort Collins. A lot of sandals. Yeah. It's very much the same. Not a lot of diversity. But that's why you like it there. So
no, it's not why I like it here in Bend, but I do like it here in Bend for other reasons. Many other reasons.
No, it's great.
The hike I took this morning.
Which wonderful. Fort Collins is a great town. So I mean, just their schedule next year is just great for them. So it's awesome. I know what I wanted to bring up with you before we talk to Troy Wins coming up, and we'll get our gambling picks up for the weekend. Did you see where this? Or you know what? Screw it. I'll save it for when Troy comes on because it's gambling related. Did you watch Thursday Night Football last night?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you tell me how on earth that they did not call this. How on earth did that guy, and there's another guy to his left. How do you not see this? I mean, Jesus, man. It's right in front of you. Look at that. There is an official back to his left, too. That should have been there. I don't know if this video will show it. I mean, he got ripped down.
I think the official probably thought it was, the horse collar thing, which is okay against the quarterback, but not okay in other instances.
But listen, okay, so you see where he is. Now imagine you're Sam Darnold. To Sam Darnold's back left is another official with the absolute bird's eye view of this play. They claim afterwards, well, we just missed it. How do you miss that? His whole responsibility is to look at that.
It should be reviewable.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not reviewable.
No, I know, but it should be. There should be somebody in New York going, hey, you know what? Hey, you guys missed this one, and it's a big-time miss. Everyone saw it on national TV. Like, you can't get caught up in the pass interference, judgment call type thing. But that's not a judgment call there. And that not only costs the Vikings a chance to, maybe tie the game and win in overtime, but did you hear what the over-under was on the game?
No,
it was 48.5.
Oh my God.
And it was 28-20 at the time. There's a guy I follow on Twitter that does a lot of gambling, Ian McMillan. He's a really good follow on
Oh,
Twitter.
that is great.
And yeah, he had under 48.5. That's one of the all-time bad beats. And then how about that onside kick or whatever they tried to do there with the punter?
Well, who knows if Minnesota goes and wins, but we needed the Rams to lose. And the Rams lose last night. You kind of just say, okay, they're done. But now that the Rams have won, they've got new life now. Puka Nacua is back. Cooper Kupp is back. By the way, Cooper Kupp, the look, it's not working. Whatever you think this look is for you with the beard and the hair, not working. It just doesn't work. He looks terrible. Anyways, but those guys are back.
Do you think he'd look at you and think that your look is working?
No, I think he'd look at me and go, man, how do I copy that? How do I copy
That's what I want, man. I want that sandy gray beard going on.
Sandy gray beard and it looks like a frumpy look. Do you think Dean Janikowski, by the way, Dean Janikowski was on this week, Cougs Corner, again brought to you by the Cougar Collective. Donate $18.90. Join the 1890 Club for just $18.90 a month. Also, Flat Stick Pub. Janikowski, who took a shot at me, said that it looks like I live in a dorm room.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you plug that broadcast a little more? I haven't heard you plug in that one. It's the best
Cougs Corner?
Something. Yeah.
Cougs Corner with Dean Janikowski is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts, and, of course, up at pucksports.com. Proudly brought to you by the Cougar Collective, cougarcollective.org. Also, Flat Stick Pub, great for ladies' night, guys' night, date night, corporate event, flatstickpub.com. 6 great locations across the Pacific Northwest.
You think that's the 18th time you promoted that this week, or the 19th, or maybe the 21st?
I thought Dean Janikowski was open and honest with his feelings about missing an extra point in the game against San Jose State, coming back and hitting that 52-yard field goal. We talked about that on the show. Also, his love for building electric motorcycles. In fact, built one for Ron Stone Jr. If you missed it, it's all available up at pucksports.com. Cougs Corner. Dean Janikowski.
He plays golf, too.
Plays golf.
Yeah.
Bought himself some new clubs. I did not ask him that.
Okay.
I did not ask him that. I don't care what people's hand. Here's the thing. I don't care about your fantasy football team. I don't care who you have in the Final Four for the NCAA tournament, and I do not care about your handicap.
Why?
Because I just don't.
I care about people's handicaps because I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I just think it's interesting. If somebody's a single-digit handicapper, you know that they can play the game pretty well.
Yeah, but they're liars. Most of them are Most of them are liars.
You think?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even know what my handicap is, though. I think I'm probably around a 16 right now.
I would say I would say your handicap is you trying to finish out putts when it's not your turn. That's your handicap.
Oh, God. That's so fucking stupid that you give me shit about that.
That's just
no. And sometimes I think I'm funny and I'm not.
It's not etiquette. It's poor etiquette.
Like I thought
poor golf etiquette.
I thought I was funny giving you a hard time about Dean Janikowski, our kicker, but
just poor golf etiquette. What you do. So.
God, poor golf.
Should be violated. There should be a charge every time you do it. You should have to pay $5 to the kitty. You
know what it does? It speeds up the game. And if people don't know what the hell I'm talking about, if I have a 30-footer and I knock it 4 feet by, I don't like to go, I'm going to mark and check it out when it's my turn again. I like to just get up there and wrap the damn thing right away. I don't see what the problem is.
No one has a problem with that.
No one has ever had a problem with me with that before.
That's not the issue. That's and you are disingenuous like these politicians.
I'm not stepping in anybody's line when I'm finishing that 4-footer.
That's not what we're talking about. And you're like these politicians that give half the truth. What I'm talking about. What he'll do, folks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What he'll do, folks, on a 30-foot putt. Let's say he leaves it short, or he pushes it past another 30 feet. You know what he'll do? He'll continue to putt. He'll continue to putt until he's done putting before anybody else putts again. That's what he does.
It's not going to be another 30-footer. It might be a 5-footer.
No, but I'm saying is if you were, let's say it goes down a hill, you read it wrong, you'll still continue to putt. Your basic philosophy is just to continue to putt until you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't you like that better than the guy that goes, the guy that marks his putt when he goes 2 feet by? It's like, come on, man. You're going to make that 95 out of 100.
Well, one, I would give it to you. But that's not what
But
I'm talking about. And
I mean, the 2 foot guy, that marks it, and
put
then
him on the
everybody has
barge.
to putt before he goes and taps it in.
Yeah, put that guy on the barge. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's on the barge. World Series tonight. You fired up? Yankees, Dodgers. You like it? 2 storied franchises. You don't?
No, I was surprised,
Really?
though, that they haven't faced each other since '81. I figured that it was every other year with these guys.
Well, it
Because
was.
they're spending the most money, and you figured that they're going to be there. But I'm going to root for the Yankees just because I bet on them. I mean, I had to have a bet on the game.
But you're not excited as a baseball fan that it's Yankees, Dodgers?
No, I'm not.
Why?
No, because it's like, oh, gee, they spent the most money. They've got the most superstars, and they're in the World Series. You know what's so funny, though, is like you look at I haven't really.
What's the problem with that, though?
The rotation of the Dodgers. I know they've had injuries and everything. That Mariner rotation is so much better than the Dodgers rotation.
Right.
So much better. And you're going to be watching like Bueller. What's his name? Walker Bueller.
Yeah.
That guy's no good. I mean, the Mariners knocked him around.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to be good.
He's
coming off, good.
He's coming off an injury. He's coming off an injury, you putz. He's really good.
I know,
he's
but
really
good coming off the injury.
Okay, he's coming off a major injury, man.
And don't call me a putz. That's offensive.
Come on.
My feelings.
Come on. Wait a minute. So you don't want a team to spend money?
Whenever Bueller's pitching, I'm betting with both hands on the Yankees.
Okay.
He's not all the way back.
I'll take that.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Oh, you want to take that?
Sure.
$100 when Bueller pitches.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all Dodgers. I want to see Teoscar get a ring.
Fish on.
Yeah.
Fish on, baby.
Fish on. I'd love it. I'm in. Give me the Doyers. You're going to do it for Fernando.
Did you see Bueller against the Mariners? He didn't even last 4 innings.
Sure. What do I like about the Dodgers? Oh, I don't know. Let me start with maybe the greatest player in the game. Well, check. Mookie Betts is kind of good. Check. Who else is pretty good? Well, Freddie Freeman on one ankle is pretty good. Check. Their bullpen's good. Check. Erdman's good. Check. I mean, just on and on and on. But
rotation, you got to check there.
No, they're not. Okay. That's their weak link for sure. Right. And Flaherty gets to start tonight, and he's, got a notch down on his
he's kind
of
a
velocity.
Shit talker, isn't he? Isn't he cocky?
Jack Flaherty? Oh, yeah. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Didn't he get into it with one of the Mariners?
Oh, I don't recall. I don't remember.
I thought he did. I thought he
with the Tigers.
A little bit. Was it with what's his name? Robles.
Oh, I can't remember.
I might be wrong, but what the hell? Wouldn't be anything new there.
Let's talk a little gambling. Let's transition to some gambling. Let's get some bets for the weekend. Let's welcome our handicapper, and it's Troy West. You can follow him on Instagram and Twitter. It's Troy West from TroyWins.com. How are you, Troy? Everything good?
Doing great, guys. I was actually just placing bets up at the Angels of the Wind Casino.
Ooh.
And a gentleman by the name of Russell, I think he had 2 teeth. I think he had just woken up from the side of the street, and he saw me placing my wagers, and he goes, "You're Troy West?" He goes, "Are you going to be on Puck and Jim in an hour? Those 2 guys are my 2 favorite guys of all time." So he said to say hi to you. Russell said to say hi to you guys.
Thank you, Russell.
Long time listener.
Thank you, Russell. And we will not take shot. We love everyone. Teeth or no teeth, Russell. Yeah. This is the no teeth show of record. Has been for many, many years. So thank you, Russell, for watching and listening. All right, hey, Troy, let's start with the baseball playoffs. All right, I'm going to throw you a wild card before we get into the NFL games. Who do you like in the series?
I like the Dodgers. You brought up some good points. Their bullpen. I think the bullpen's a huge deal here. The Yankees bullpen has just been very sporadic. You really don't know what you're going to get from Clay Holmes. He's been a disaster. Luke Weaver, really, that's who you're going to in the 9th inning in a 1-run ball game. I'm not sure I'm trusting Luke Weaver in those situations. The Dodgers bullpen has been dialed in the postseason. They're starting to get the bats going. I think the Yankees have the better starting pitching, but I think the Dodgers bullpen prevails, and I think their lineup's better. I like the Dodgers in 6.
Okay.
Hey, did you see any odds on the MVP that you like? Because I bet on Teoscar Hernandez at 18-1 today. I kind of thought that, I mean, you can bet on Judge or Soto or Shohei, but the odds suck on those guys. So I was looking for somebody that might be good value. What do you think about
I don't hate that. I don't hate it. I saw on ESPN bets this morning, I was watching They got him at 25-1 though, so we need to get you a better sports book. But that was the big pick of the week was Teoscar at 25-1. I don't hate it. If he continues to be clutch, I mean, like you said, I think anybody in that Dodger lineup's capable of winning it, right? Whoever has a good series, whether it's Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Teoscar, I think any one of those four have a legit shot at winning it. So I don't hate that at all.
Yeah, I want looking at who would be a good one because he's been on fire in the postseason is Tommy Edman, and it's always who it feels like. I'm probably wrong on this one with the World Series MVPs. It always feels it's kind of like a nobody that wins it.
What were his odds, Edman?
He is let's see, DraftKings got him plus 2,500, FanDuel plus 3,300. Yeah.
Don't hate it. Don't hate it. Feels like you can go to anybody. I mean, this is going to be a great series, and it's gonna come down to one of the bats. And like you said, it's not always the superstar Ohtani. So we'll see. We'll see.
Let's jump into the college football action. We'll just go back and forth. I'll start us off. We'll get into the NFL there as well. We're also going to, at the end, we'll update the standings on Puck the Picker, the pigskin pick'em that we've been doing since week 2 there of the NFL season. And you know us, we'll probably have a few games at the end that we'll ask you about. I love betting on the NBA because it's fun, especially the over. So I want to sneak in a question there on that at the end. All right, in the SEC, LSU taking on the Aggies of Texas A&M. A&M favored by 1, Troy.
I've got to go with the 12th man here. They're playing so good right now. They've got some good momentum. They're playing well at home. They looked outstanding against Missouri at home not too long ago. LSU, I get it. They've been playing much better football. Brian Kelly's got them clicking. But give me Texas A&M. Not enough points for the 12th man. I like Texas A&M at home in that game.
Okay.
Hey, this is an interesting game you have on the schedule here, Troy. SMU minus 11.5 against Duke. And so I'm guessing, since it's not a really big game or anything, that you have a good side that you like here.
Yeah, we had to give the viewers this one. I like SMU a lot. Duke's record doesn't really, show what kind of team they've been all year. They've done a good job. I get it, but SMU is absolutely rolling right now. They went into Stanford last week, absolutely smoked them. They're averaging 40 points a game over the last few games. I like SMU to go on the road in a big way and destroy a fraudulent Duke team. Give me SMU 42-20. I like SMU a lot in this one.
Okay, in Bloomington tomorrow, college game day, 9 a.m. Kickoff. Indiana against your beloved Washington Huskies. The Hoosiers are favored by 6.5. Troy?
Going with the Hoosiers. Pains me to say it. A good friend of mine, Indiana alumni. He said this is the biggest home game in the history of the program. The backup quarterback, I'm told, and I saw a little bit of him play, this is really not a letdown from the starter. This guy's mobile. He can make all the throws. It's really not a downgrade at quarterback whatsoever. Was surprised that the point spread only dropped 1 point when they announced on the starter. Went from 7.5 to 6.5. My money will be on the under 53.5. I think this is a lower scoring game. I think Indiana ultimately wins this one like 24-13. But I take Indiana.
Really?
This one.
Okay.
So if the Huskies at Indiana played 100 times, how many times would Washington win?
Well, it depends on a neutral field. Like I said, this is college. I mean, when's the last time college game day was at Indiana? I just think, the Huskies haven't proven they can win on the road. I get they're coming off a bye week, but that's a tough travel game. 9 a.m. That place is going to be absolutely rocking. It's a red out. That's a tall task for the Huskies tomorrow. Like I said, I heard the backup quarterback. You're not downgrading at all from the starter. So,
and he's got Cougar blood in him. His dad was a Coug.
I've heard that.
Let's go. Let's go. Go Cougs.
All right, the NFL on Sunday. Big game for the Seahawks. Buffalo, Josh Allen coming to town. The Bills are favored by 3.
I like the Bills. I don't think DK Metcalf's going to go. If he did, I think that maybe changes things up a little bit. But that guy really makes the offense go. I mean, he's a guy that you really got to double team and opens up, guys like JSN and obviously opens up guys like Lockett. I think without him, that's a big step back for this offense. The Bills' offense has been outstanding. Amari Cooper is finally getting acclimated. He caught the touchdown last week. I think the Bills are one of the better teams in football. 3's not enough. I think it's a close game, but give me the Bills 27-20.
Hey, we jumped over one last college game. San Diego State is getting 14.5 tomorrow night down in America's most beautiful city, San Diego, against our beloved Cougs. Who do you like?
I've been right about your Cougs. I told you guys again last week they were going to destroy Hawaii, and you guys were a little skeptical.
You nailed it.
I'm taking San Diego State plus the points in this one. I think it's going to. San Diego State is not a good football team. I just think this is a weird game for the Cougars. I think the Cougars win this game 31-20, but give me San Diego State 14 and a hook at home is a lot of points in an in-conference game like this.
Okay, all right. I hope
I'm kind of with you on that. I don't. Yeah, I think we're going to win, but I was surprised to see 14 on the road.
I was too. 30 exactly. San Diego State can still run the ball. They've got a decent defense. 31-20 Cougs.
Yeah, but they're not that good.
They're not that good. Good.
But yeah, coming off, they've got extra time to prepare for Johnny football, so you never know. All right, Jim, one last NFL game before we get to Troy's lock of the week. What do you got?
Yeah, we got a Sunday nighter with, I believe they're your Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. You like the Dallas Cowboys. When are they going to fire their coach anyway?
God, fire their owner.
I was hoping I was truly hoping it would have been last week. I really was. I got kind of a theory on that, by the way.
Is it a coach problem or an owner problem?
Both. Okay. It's both. I mean, I genuinely, I don't know how it all works, but I would have liked to have seen them get rid of Mike Zimmer and bring in Robert Saleh and just say, hey, run the defense the rest of the year, right?
Yeah.
Just see what happens. What do you got to lose? I mean, the defense has played so bad. They've given up 40 points a couple of different times this year at home. They haven't won a home game in, God, I don't know how long. It's ugly in Dallas. But give me Dallas plus the points against the 49ers. I just think 4.5 is too many. Sunday Night Football, rival game. Dallas will be ready coming off the bye week. They get some guys coming back on defense. 49ers are in shambles. I do think Deebo Samuel sounds like he's going to be a go. But that offense looked really bad last week against the Chiefs. I'm not saying Dallas is going to win this game, but I think it's 24-21. I'll take 4.5 points in this one.
Yeah, they are just a mess. I don't know if people have seen it, but go read the latest ESPN story on the Cowboys. And I don't know if either of you seen it, but every stadium has this, and every team does this, where they allow tours to come in, but it's usually at the stadium, where you can go tour like Cowboy Stadium or Seahawks Stadium or T-Mobile and all that. They do it in Dallas, where you get to tour the facility. There's literally fans walking around 24/7 in their facility where the players train and eat and all of this. It's unbelievable. And the players, they quote a couple players in there who no longer are there, this is why I left. I left because, listen, I'm in the dining room or in the training facility, I'm lifting weights. I don't need someone knocking on the window, waving at me, taking pictures. I mean, it's just what a zoo. Absolute zoo, Jerry Jones and that whole cruise. All right. So you like Dallas plus 4.5 against San Francisco. Troy likes the Bills -3 against the Seahawks. He's taking the Aztecs plus 14.5 against our Cougs. The Hoosiers -6.5 against UW. SMU, Pony Express, -11.5 against Duke, and Texas A&M -1 against LSU. All right, what is your lock of the week?
This is my take it to the bank. Get up, Jim. Go find a casino right now. This game goes off tonight, 8 p.m. kick. This thing probably won't end until midnight. This thing's going to end 3 in the morning on the East Coast for Rutgers. Rutgers is traveling into the Coliseum. USC has had back-to-back heartbreaking losses. They lost to Penn State in overtime, and then last week they lose to Maryland. It's been ugly for USC, but they are playing a Rutgers team that has looked horrendous as of late. This is a tough travel game. Friday night, short week for Rutgers. Give me USC -13.5. I love this game. Had it circled for a while. Find a casino, Jim, or get on your local app. Make some of that money back you've lost. I love the Trojans tonight. 42-17. -13.5. Trojans is my lock of the week.
Okay, now hold on.
Team that beat Washington.
Excuse me. What's that, Jim? That was a long time ago. It feels like last year when Rutgers beat. They lost to UCLA at home last week. That's how bad this team is. Rutgers lost at home to UCLA last week. They are a absolute dumpster fire. I get USC's falling on hard times, but Lincoln Riley will have his guys pissed off tonight.
Well, if he doesn't beat him tonight, I mean, she might as well just fire him on the tarmac and just get rid of him and just eat the $88 million. Now, before we got some more stuff to ask you before you go, I want people to pay attention to the games that Troy picked at the end of the show today. I'm going to ask you something specific about a game that Troy picked, and the first person that can either in our chat or on Twitter can tell me the correct answer, you're going to get a $25 free play from TroyWins.com. All right, there's always some extra games that we like to ask you about. Boise State against UNLV. Broncos -3.5. What do you like? This is a big game. Troy?
We lost Troy.
Oh, did we lose Troy? My bad. Okay. I'll add him back on there. Sorry, Troy. We lost you there for a second.
You sent me backstage.
Oh, okay. My apologies. I asked you.
I like UNLV tonight. I like UNLV. They're at home. They're getting 3 and a hook. This is a really good UNLV team this year. They're well coached. They're home. I think they'll have a game plan for Boise State's run game. I get sometimes having a game plan. It doesn't matter. Gentry still may go for 2 bills. Yeah. But give me UNLV getting 3 and a hook. I think they win this game outright. I like UNLV on the money line tonight.
What about that? What about tomorrow? I mean, Navy is one of the greatest stories of the college football season. One, because like it's not your dad's Navy anymore. Like they're still running the triple option, but now they've incorporated this like triple option spread passing attack that's just unbelievable. They're getting 13.5 against Notre Dame. That seems like a lot.
It's a lot, but Marcus Freeman's one of the better defensive minds in this game. I think he'll have a game plan ready for Navy. They play him every year, so there's no real secrets here. I like Notre Dame. They're starting to play good football. Riley Leonard's a great quarterback, the kid out of Duke, the transfer Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame. They got a lot to play for. Notre Dame's still trying to sneak into that playoff. Navy's undefeated season comes to an end. I like Notre Dame 42-14, big way.
Oh, okay. I got one more for you, Jim. You can volley any questions at him that you want here at the end. Do you get much in the NBA? Do you like betting on the NBA?
Love the NBA.
Yeah.
Love the
So
NBA.
do I. Okay. I'm going to give you some advice. All right. This is just like the M's bet under summer tour. I am going to do this every game now. I'm going to take whoever the Blazers are playing. I'm taking the other team minus the points. So like tonight, they're taking on the Pelicans. I'm giving me the Pelicans -5.5. The Blazers might be the worst basketball team I've ever seen. Ever.
I think that's a fair move. We actually have the over. I think you can bet the over too. They're going to give up $130 a night every night too. You can't put that night.
Oh, and you always have to go. It's basketball, just like hockey. Always take the over. Yeah, but just bet against the Blazers every single night. Go-to guy, what do you got?
How do you think Kevin's doing down there? Calabro.
I think Kevin Calabro is just waiting and just with his contract going, well, when they come back, I'm heading back up north.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, Troy, let me throw you a couple curveballs here. I want you to set the odds on 2 different things here. First, what would it take you to bet the Seahawks to win the NFC West? What kind of odds? Because right now they're on top, but they got the other 3 teams are just 1 game behind.
I think this weekend's going to be interesting. They desperately need a 49ers loss, I think. The Rams looked really good last night. And I think the Rams are kind of comical at this point, right? You put Cooper Kupp on the trade market last week, and now you're a game out of the division. So, and the Cardinals, that's still a good football team. So if you're getting the Seahawks around even money, I don't hate it. I think they can easily win this division, but honestly, all 4 teams still have a crack at this division. The 49ers aren't going anywhere. We'll see if McCaffrey gets back into the lineup. That's a big part. If they fall to 3-5, I think that puts the 49ers in a tough spot, but I don't hate it. I think the Seahawks right now are the best team in the NFC West. But that game coming up against the Rams here is going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be a fun one. All right, before we go, the Puck the Picker Pigskin Pick'em. We've been doing this all year long since week 2 of the NFL season. Troy and his crew over there at TroyWins.com have graciously donated a fabulous prize package to whoever wins our NFL Pick'em pool that we've been doing since week 2. All expenses paid to Las Vegas, Nevada, first round of the NCAA tournament, staying at the Circa Hotel, airfare covered, dinner, the steakhouse. I always forget the name, Troy.
Barry's
Steakhouse.
Yes.
And so, again, we're not winding down because we got the whole NFL season to go. But make sure if you're playing in the Puck the Picker Pigskin Pick'em, you get your picks in. Hopefully everyone got them in last night. And then, of course, all the picks coming up on Sunday. Greg McDonald right now, 59-48. He's got a winning percentage there at 88.2. He's got 590 points. Thomas Hohennessy, 570 points. He's tied there with Dwayne Mathis, Ryan Johnson, Robert Elvera. They're in there with 550 points. Jim Gibson at 530, along with Garrett Brown right now. So it's an awesome kind of run here to the end in Puck the Picker Pigskin Pick'em. Me, what am I right now? I've got 480 points. 48-40. Betting against the spread, I'll take that. That's not bad. Jim doesn't have a win, nor does he have a loss because Jim forgot to sign up.
Wow. Yeah. I was hoping I would send Jim to Vegas. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm not eligible, Troy.
Yeah, he's not eligible. Neither are some other people that aren't eligible. Should I mention current KJR hosts / producers that are in the pick'em pool or no?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, do that.
Should I not do that, or would that be poor form?
Yeah, but when have you ever had good form?
I'm not going to do it.
I'm curious. I need to go look at
He's
that.
not. I'll just say he's not going to win. He's not going to win. He's way down. He's way down the list. All right. I'll protect him.
You're going to spare that guy
I'm going to spare him. I'm going to spare him. Yes, I'm going to spare him. All right. Well, hey, Troy, we'll talk to you next week. Real quick, before you go, tell everybody what they get at TroyWins.com.
Yeah, guys, we got a great deal going on right now. Jim can even afford this one. 7 days for $7. That gets you all picks, VIP, prize picks, prop bets. We cover it all. We got NBA prop bets. We cover the NBA, hockey, college football, college basketball's around the corner. We cover everything. TroyWins.com. 7 days for $7.
All right. Thanks, Troy.
I appreciate all the shit you've been giving me lately, Troy.
That's not shit. I said you can afford this package. This package will help you out. Looks like you got the heat working in your house.
The cadaver crack last week, or wait, no, not cadaver, catheter.
It's all correct. It's all correct. It's the way it should be.
Thanks, Troy. Doesn't need his snow coat today or his beanie.
Yeah, that's right. He's inside.
Love you, Troy. You love me too, don't you?
Enjoy the weekend, guys.
Yeah, there he is, Troy from Troy West. It's Troy West on Twitter and Instagram. And go to TroyWins.com there for the very latest. There with your get all your gambling advice with Troy, and then go to the casino and make a sound wager. All right, that's what we got.
Troy's kind of popping off lately. I don't appreciate that.
Well, it's good. Sadly, no voicemails. I wish we had a voicemail for you, but I don't have any voicemails. Can't do Friday voicemails. No one's gonna leave a voicemail. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to hear from Jamal.
I know. I've made the play. I've made the ask. There's nothing I can do. Made the ask.
Jamal's got time on his hands. He's not practicing with anybody.
He does. God, it was so funny. You would love this. In one of our practices this week for Inner Bay
Eagles.
A kid had a pass. He was going to pick it off, hit him right in the face mask, and he dropped it. And I thought of right away, like, Jamal Adams. It's great. So good.
Well, the best play he made last year was what? The one that went out against Cleveland and went off his helmet?
Yeah, went off his helmet, and then he took credit for it. That was the best part of him taking credit for it. I'm like, you are such an idiot. God almighty. All right. We'll cut you loose. Enjoy your weekend. Go Cougs. We'll see you Monday, yeah?
Yeah, I'll be back Monday, Puck. Go Cougs, man.
All right. Sounds good. Go Cougs. There he is. Jim Moore with us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here at Puck Sports and pucksports.com. And, of course, up on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcasts, here to listen to the show later. All right. We wrap up every single show, every single Friday, I should say, with a visit with the great Chris Egan. Chris Egan joins us now. from the estate in Puyallup, where there are guards outside of his house there in Puyallup. It's all brought to you by Fat Zach's Pizza, 3 locations in Sumner, Puyallup, South Hill, home of the original No Big Deal Pickle Pizza. Book one of their 3 food trucks for catering, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events. Find Fat Zach's Pizza on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, up at fatzachspizza.com. How are you, sir?
I am doing well. Puck, how are you? You got me all right? Everything sounding good?
Everything's great. Everything's wonderful.
Perfect.
How about you?
You know, it's been another emotional week. We've got a lot of good things to talk about on this Friday edition. But, I think I know you talked about it on Monday, but I think I just need to pay my respects to the great Tony Ventrella, who passed away. He's somebody that I admired a lot. He was former sports director at King 5 at Cairo TV. Worked a little bit at Q13 as well. Worked with Seahawks media, Sounders media. So over the past 30 years, this is somebody that I've got to know pretty closely. I go back to 1993. When I think I was a junior at Pacific Lutheran University, and Tony Ventrella and Frosty Westrine were actually very close, good friends, kind of both from that same positive, motivational speaking. And Frosty would bring Tony down sometimes, and I still remember Frosty introducing me to Tony, and Frosty knew I was into sports broadcasting. And we met in a room at Olson Auditorium one night, and we just chatted. And I still remember Tony saying, hey, if you love editing until 3 a.m, if you love working just weird hours, if you are okay, working weekends, and it's what you love to do, then go for it, Chris. And you remember those moments, and it kind of pushed me recently to like make sure when kids reach out to me that I'm reaching back to them and helping them out. And we had some kids last week at Lake Washington that wanted to job shadow, and I'm like, follow me wherever you want to go. I'd received word that Tony wasn't doing great a couple weeks ago. Him and I text back and forth, and then got the news from a very close family friend on Saturday night, and then spent Sunday talking to his grandson and his son, and they were by his side. Passed away at the age of 80, and I'll say this: he lived 80 incredible years. He's got a book about always smiling and just being positive and helping others, and that's why people loved him. And you look back, Puck, at the 80s and 90s when like King 5 and Cairo were pulling 40 shares, and Wayne Cody and Bruce King and Tony Ventrella, everybody knew them. You know what? They didn't go on Twitter and try to be controversial. They didn't go on Instagram and, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. It was, they just made those sportscasts fun, and they made it must-see TV, and they all had their own style. And Tony was very positive. He tried some unique things like the wrestling hold of the week, interviews from a barber shop. But the guy, he was just so positive and so friendly, and he touched so many lives, and everybody had a Tony V story. And I have many of them, but for me, 1993 is the one that sticks to me most, because that's when I first met him, and he could have been a jerk. He could have been an arrogant sportscaster from Seattle that everybody loved, and said, you know what, I don't got time for you right now. But he did have time, and he took that time, and it was a small difference in my life, so I can't thank him enough. And just another person that the heart breaks, but the heart breaks because there's people we love out there, and that's not a bad thing. And now we just have to celebrate them. And like I said, 80 great years. I'm sure he has no regrets, and just a good man, and one of the best to ever do it on TV in the Seattle sports market, for sure.
Well, and there's a lot of you in him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like to say that there's a lot of people I model.
Well, I should actually. There's a lot of him in you. I think I screwed that up. I mean, you guys are very similar in terms of how you do your broadcasts.
Well, this is a guy, Puck, and you've always been a pro high school football, but this is a guy, when you get text out of the blue on a Friday night, I can go back 8 years ago. It's raining at Auburn Memorial Stadium, and the last place I want to be is a Friday night football game, and then you get that text from Tony V that says, Egan, I love your Friday night football, man. Keep it up. And you'll get that random text just from somebody you grew up watching, an email from a Gene Anderson like says, hey, stuff looks good. And those are the things that just keep you going because sometimes it isn't the pay, it isn't the glamour, but it's highlighting those kids. And Tony was always big on that, and just another reason why I love doing that stuff. And I think it's no secret on this show. I'm a more positive person than negative, and that's everybody has their own way that they go about life. And yeah, I definitely get that from a little bit from Tony, a little bit from Frosty, a little bit from my mom, a kindergarten teacher of 40 years, and and a beautiful wife that keeps me going every day as well too.
Yeah.
But,
stop sucking up to Melanie. Good God. You know what? Jesus.
Here's the Mel.
She doesn't need it every week. All right.
I feel like, Puck, I've taken so many shots over the years, with her blankets, with her pillows, with her
pillows.
Artwork. And Puck, who doesn't get the holidays ready more than a little glass pumpkin right there?
Glass got it. Oh God, glass pumpkin, the whole thing. It's amazing that you're so positive in like the TV world in like this, but like when you coach, you're an a-hole, and everybody knows that.
No, Puck, come on. I am not. So I've learned over the years. In fact, I think now my 23rd year of coaching youth soccer, I may be my best because I never say a negative thing on the field toward my players. Now, I did last week say, all right, turn it up a little bit, everybody, or you're going to be sitting next to me on the
Who are
bench.
you coaching? What are you coach? What age?
So I got Luke's, and I've got some things I do have to run by. I've got Luke's soccer team.
Okay.
And we are a rec team playing out of Washington Premier. I've got 19 kids. And these 19 kids, Puck, play basketball, baseball, lacrosse, football. And many
all
of
at
them,
the same time?
They're all doing different things at different times. That's why they've stayed with me, because I've offered the chance for them to be a multi-sport athlete. You don't have to come to practice if you don't want to make it there. Usually I have 15 of the 19 at every practice.
That's good. That's way to set up a responsibility to a team and your teammates. Good job.
Well, you know what? They look at themselves in the mirror every night before they go to bed, and they know they got to get to practice. So
hey, don't come as long as you guys show up on game day. Score head coach Egan here a couple of goals so he can go back and kind of kick his feet up later and talk about how the Blue Bonnets are undefeated this season.
One thing I do, I got 19 players, and Puck, I'm not gonna lie, there's some that should be playing Premier, but they just have chosen not to play Premier. They just, for the time schedule, for the money, for what it may be, they just don't want to go that route. And some of these kids have been playing together since they're 5, so they're pretty good. They do very well in their league together. And the thing I love is our last game, we're playing a team in Gig Harbor, and I have, once again, superhuman hearing that I can hear across the field. So, you know what? I just want to put that out there for anyone. And you got the Gig Harbor team doesn't lose a lot. They're losing to us. And so what happens when you lose? You can either admit these guys are pretty good, this team is pretty good, or you can go the other route, like, oh, this is a Premier team. This is a Premier team. They should not be playing us. They should not be playing us right now. And that's what a lot of them are saying. One of my kids is wearing a bracelet from like school that maybe a girl gave him, and one of the parents is like, look at that, he's got a bracelet which marks him as a Premier player. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, that's just a bracelet that his girlfriend gave him at junior high. So you know what, and here's the thing, I told our parents, that's okay. If another team wants to think that you're a Premier team, that's good. That is a compliment to your team. Every high school out there in America, end this cheer right now. Overrated.
No, I love that cheer. I like that cheer. No, I disagree with you.
You know why it's a stupid
I
cheer,
disagree.
Puck? Here's why it's a stupid cheer, because you're pretty much saying that your team isn't any good.
I don't care. I still like it. I love it. I love an overrated chant.
You're pretty much
God, I love it.
Not good.
We got spirit. Yes, we do. Good. We got spirit. How about you? And then rebound, overrated.
Get rid of that one.
Oh, I love overrated.
What's the one? We're gonna win. Looks like we're gonna. I don't know.
No, it's here's the one I want to get rid of. The soccer one. I want the soccer one gone.
The soccer is it the win? We're
The
gonna
win one. I'm so tired. That's the one I'm tired of.
Yeah. There's one about Taco Bell.
We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. We believe. And then everyone jumps up and down.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So from that soccer game, we won on Sunday, and I didn't think we played great. But I threw this out at the kids on Tuesday, Puckett practice. We had a good turnout. Everybody was there. You know, the kids coming in from lacrosse, football. You know, they're all showing up because they believe. And I pulled out a little bit out of the Pete Carroll book. You know, I'm like, and the Puckett book. I'm like, I'm not going to talk as much today. I'm going to just quiet down. I said, guys, tell the truth Tuesday.
Oh, I love it.
I said, I don't think we played our best. We won. The scoreboard says we won.
You got to knock them down after a big win. That's when you do it.
I said, I don't honestly think we played that well. Anybody want to jump in and tell the truth Tuesday? Just say it how it is. I'm telling you what, Puck, now, everybody listening that's a coach, these are 13, 14-year-olds. Boom. I mean, it was one after another. They were just going. I was like, I looked at assistant coach Michael. Doesn't know a lot about soccer like I do, and we're just like.
I mean, why does Mike stop? Time out.
Yeah.
Why does Michael need to get an unnecessary arrow on the show? Hey, Michael, I appreciate what you do for the kids and for Egan. I think it's unnecessary to get there. You know, Michael doesn't know soccer like I do. What are you, fucking Brian Schmetzer over there?
I didn't say I know anything about soccer. I said I don't know. I said Coach Michael and I would laugh because we surround ourselves with Coach JR, who knows everything about soccer.
I got you.
And the referees sometimes will go, "We got an indirect kick for the Thunder," and I'll look at Coach Michael and go, "Can we score on that, or do we need to get into a partner?"
Get JR. Is it JR? Is he the main coach? JR.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the main one as far as knowing the game. But Michael and I are the motivators. He's the defensive coordinator. I'm the OC, the subbing guru, you know. So, but I'll tell you this, Puck, with you sports, be careful out there. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is the game I'm going to get so and so to start. You know, that sometimes doesn't go right. You know, because you start moving, then all of a sudden it's a slow start.
Chemistry gets screwed up.
Yeah.
So you're saying the kids, when the ages are what again?
13, 14-years. These are
they took
7th and 8th graders. Yeah.
So they took the Tell the Truth Tuesday to heart, and they started calling out people. Did they call out the coaches? Hey, Chris. Hey, Coach Egan. If we're going to tell the truth, you know, maybe an extra large sweatshirt, huh?
One kid.
Lay off the whipped cream in your coffee, bud.
Well,
and while we're at it, if you're over, no more visors.
They love the visor. They do love. Well. I'll tell you this.
Chris is wearing a visor for people that are listening.
I was playing goalie the other night on Tuesday, and I made a nice save, and I kicked it. I'm 51. I didn't kick it too hard, and I kicked it right to the other team. And one of my kids goes, "Have a purpose with your pass, Coach Chris. Purpose with your pass." That's
what I love that. Yes. Yes.
He came right back at me. No, one kid did kind of question the warm-up, which I take. That's my responsibility, is getting these. You know, we do a stretch, we do a ballistic stretch, and then we do a little 3-on-2 attack.
What's a ballistic stretch?
You know, you're doing like the scissors. You know, you're doing a little running,
karaoke.
Little karaoke.
Oh, karaoke. Come on, I know karaoke. A little backpedaling.
Yeah, get the legs moving a little bit.
You know, the squat trunk turn that every youth baseball team's got to do.
Get the legs going a little bit. Yeah, but you know what? You mentioned the name, and apparently we've gone to Netflix R rating because you threw out the F word. So for all my Thunder players listening, I apologize for Puckett's.
My apologies. I forgot we were interviewing Schmetzer here.
Well, with that in mind, Schmetzer contract extension.
It's great. Why did it take so long?
That's I think the question.
I don't know. He's only the best coach you've ever had, so let's hang him out to dry for the whole season. I don't know I don't know anything about soccer. I don't really pay attention to it much. But I know that guy's the best coach they've ever had. Yeah. And he's probably the best coach in this city. And why you let him hang? I mean, they got it done good. Why did he have to prove something this year? What did he have to prove?
I have no idea. Best coach, best with the media, best getting the team to the playoffs. Best. Great. I mean, you don't have to be from here to be great, but he's from here. He understands the history. He salutes all the other teams. I mean,
he's the best. I've never seen anyone as a head coach handle the media better than that guy handles it.
Yeah. I do like his though when he's Jeremiah. I mean, sometimes I'm going to say this to him. Sometimes when I'm trying to cut a soundbite for the nightly news, I don't need Jeremiah. I don't need Jeremiah. Moz, great question, Moz. I have to edit Moz out of my soundbite. I got a 20-second soundbite. Nobody watching King by Sports knows who Jeremiah and Moz are, so I got to edit.
Moz Vita. God, he's been around everywhere. I'll tell you what, the racket that Moz Vita has carved out for himself in Seattle is unbelievable. It's, Moz, if you're listening and watching this later, I love you. You basically just carved out, I'm going to go to every sporting event I can. I'm going to pretend I cover it, and I'm going to get a credential.
He is the best. He is the best. Moz is everywhere.
Oh, yes.
I'm surprised. I do not see him on Friday nights, but I mean, there's a limit to how many things he can get.
There's a limit to where he can be at, and there's a limit to free food for that guy. Yeah, I think my thinking with Moz is that he just doesn't want to pay for dinner. So if I get credentialed to all these sporting events, basically my food is covered 7 days a week.
Well, one of Tony V's greatest producers, Bill Rocky, used to do that. I mean,
Bill Rocky.
He'd be showing up at the Seahawks table like, Bill, I thought you retired from Cairo 8 years ago.
And he always had what I love about Bill is he's always kind of had that, like, either someone farted in the room, he was stoned, or it's just kind of this, like, this dumbfounded look on his face.
Oh, man.
Hey, can I ask you a question? And this is we're gonna pit youth sports against each other, and I don't like it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, every sport has a season, correct?
Sure,
except for one.
Well, I mean, they're all with AAU trying to go year round.
I know, but
I know when
you know where I'm going, except for one, and it gets in the way of other sports, and and it's happened in football this year with us. Hey, is Johnny going to be at the game on Saturday? Oh no, he's got a soccer game. Excuse me, we're playing football. He signed up to play football. Remember that? And he's one of our better players. So, can he be there? No, he's got a soccer game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Why is it that that's the one sport that is just year-round, nonstop?
Well, that's why I have 19 players on my team, and none of them have left, and they keep coming back because we do just play in the fall and winter, and we're done. Yes, soccer is year-round. Here's what happens here, Puck. When you get to the high school ranks, the select kids are literally playing opposite of their high school schedule. So they give them a little break during high school to go play high school. But once that's done, they go right back to select. So literally, I think the only break for soccer is maybe a 2-week stretch during like the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, and they don't take much.
Here's my only concern with this one too, Puck, is as you throw this out there, and there's some great programs out there. Don't get me wrong. We've had a lot of kids that have gone on and played Division I soccer, Paul Rothrock, Jackson Reagan, Jordan Morris, some of the homegrown kids, but it's not like we've got that homegrown status when it comes to like basketball coming out of the Pacific Northwest, if you will. I mean, we've produced some amazing talent for the NBA. I mean, we could sit here for a half an hour and talk about the players that have come out of this area.
I would make an argument, honestly, that there's New York City and all those, but it might be unparalleled if you take New York City out of it.
Per capita and population, I think Seattle could be number one as far as NBA talent. I think we're seeing that talent as far as baseball, too. There are just a ton of kids coming out of this region for baseball.
But you're saying that for all the emphasis that we have in soccer in this area, that we don't produce a bunch of soccer players.
It doesn't seem like that to me. And somebody could jump on here and correct me if I'm wrong. I mentioned those three names, but I've been doing sports in Seattle now 25 years. And I make it a big deal about like this kid's from Lakeside, this kid's from Bothell, this kid's from Ballard, this kid grew up in Federal Way. And we've got a few homegrown talent, but it's not like this market is just flooding. It feels like the soccer world. Like I haven't seen any just gigantic.
That's interesting.
I mean, you got Casey Keller grew up here. I think he's a Team USA player. that would probably be at the very high end of that. But I don't know. And yet we just keep going down this path of them playing 11 months a year.
I mean, I'm kind of half kidding and not, but it's just like, when is it? Okay. I'm just trying to remember when I was growing up, has it changed over the years for people who are in the soccer community? Like, was it always a fall sport, or was it always a spring sport, and then we just made it year round? I don't know that.
I think it's a good question. I don't know that answer, and I would love to. And I know the other sports are trying it though, Puck. You can see. I mean, you could play basketball year round. I mean,
of course you can.
There's a tournament every weekend right now.
Yeah.
I mean, these baseball clubs are practicing indoors.
I just think
as far
it's
as games go, soccer is going nonstop.
I'll be honest, and I think you would agree a little bit with this, as being we're coaches, right?
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to the people that volunteer their time, honestly, and put these teams together, that I can't make football practice because I'm playing soccer, or vice versa. I can't make soccer practice because I'm playing football. It's like, I don't know. Pick one, whichever one you want, and pick one and play it, and then give everything you want for that. Whether in the fall, and then if it's winter, whatever you do in the winter, and then the spring, and then the summer. I think it's a little too much. I've seen these kids, like, we had a kid on one of our team, a football game, that we played a whole football game, and then right afterwards is playing a soccer game. And I'm like, man, I think that's a little much.
Here's the
Just
equation.
give him a break.
I honestly don't blame the soccer clubs, because they're a business. They're trying to make money.
Of course.
And they're doing what they can. I mean, Casey Keller told me this a long time ago. Chris, if a guy coaches 3 months compared to 12 months, or a guy or gal, he's making more money as a 12-month coach. That's why they go year round. So, I mean, it makes sense why they go that route. Who I blame is it all comes down to the parent. The parent feels like they may, oh God, I really need him on this team. I'm missing out on this team if I don't do this. And at one point, the parents have to make an educated decision on the balance of their kid. And when I say the balance of their kid, is going to AAU basketball practice 5 out of 7 nights a week, is that a great thing for your kid when he's missing out on schoolwork, sleep, grandma's 80th birthday party? No, I'm serious, because that's the balance you have to start looking at. It's like next week's Halloween, Puck, and we'll get into my top 5 candies, my most tradable candies.
Oh, yeah.
What are the candies I should be having next? But next week is Halloween. Guess what? Chris Egan's rec soccer team, who usually practices on Thursday, we won't be practicing on Thursday.
Oh, you bring up a touchy subject, because I know
we won't be.
I know of a team that is making their squad practice Thursday night, and I'm like, why are you doing that? What's the point of that?
We won't be, because there's that fine line of balance. And sure, these are 13 and 14-year-olds, and some of them may not be trick-or-treating, but the fact is it's a holiday. Now, pretty much every Premier team, in my mind, is probably going to be on the practice field that night, because they pay big money.
It's just
so
dumb. My God, they're like 11 years old. Let them have Halloween off so they can go fill themselves up with candy and walk up to have some moments. Walk up to the house that just puts out the whole bucket, and they take the whole bucket. That's what I love.
You could forward this podcast 20 years from now, and you've got Jason Puckett, in the future, and you got some Premier kid over here that never was able to go to Halloween, or they're going to talk top 5 candy bars. The Premier kids, I don't know. I never had a candy bar.
My example is, I know a football team that's doing it. It's not ours, and I'm like, I'm like, really? Like, why would you practice on Halloween? Like, that's just whatever.
Well, it's you know what? I've interviewed thousands of athletes, and the great ones have this thing called balance. And you know what? And for some reason along the way, parents don't, see like, no, he needs to be there at that practice if he wants to get there. And I don't know. It's a great little argument, and you could have stories from each side of the table on it. So, but I'm going to keep doing it my way. You are going to do it your way. And, I just, you can't get that time back, is what I'll say. And,
do you think next week, speaking of Halloween, because Halloween's on a Thursday, my son has already asked, can I not go to school on Friday? I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I'm like, no,
why would he?
you got to go to school, buddy. Like you're not gonna.
I always thought Friday after Halloween was one of the best days because that's trade day. That's where you bring in the big candy and you're trading.
No one's gonna do. I told him, I said, no one's gonna do anything anyways, including your teachers, because you know what your teachers were doing while everyone else while they were passing out candy, sipping on granddaddy's cough medicine all night long. Yep. They're hungover. They don't want to be there either. So don't worry about it. All right.
Bring your bag of candy and get to school, and then you got Saturday to sleep in.
You got Saturday to sleep in. Now this is a great debate. We like to do it every year. You and I, top 5 candies. To me, it starts and ends with Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, but I understand that people have their other candies. Your top 5, are you going from 5 down up to 1?
I'll go 5 up to. I'm going to go 5 up to 1. And
okay.
I'd love to get in with you on top 5 tradable or just worst candies that you can get.
Sure.
And then the top 5 that if Mel Egan could have me get at the house that I would pick up. So my top 5 though favorites, as I look back at 51 glorious years of Halloween trick-or-treating. Please, coaches, no practice on Halloween. My honorable mention at number 6 would be the Whoppers. I just don't eat the Whoppers enough, so I think getting a nice big bag of Whoppers on Halloween is a great one. Number 5 for me, not everybody likes to go this route. I love them. I like them when they're warm and they're a little mushy. The Junior Mint, I think you can't go wrong with the Junior Mint.
Yes.
Another one that I like to have when it's a little warm that you don't get a whole lot is the 100 Grand. The 100 gram, it's caramel, it's crunchy, it's so good.
I'm going to tell you right now, that's way low. Four for 100 grand. Okay.
I got 4. Number 3, though, I mean, for me, it's one of my favorites of all time. I love it. If you can give me the king size on Halloween, that would be the Twix. I love the Twix.
I bet you down in your wealthy neighborhood, they got a lot of that.
I'm going to try. Neighbors, if you're listening, king size Twix for me. Number 2 for me, because I think I just love taking it out at night with a Coors Light at midnight and taking it and dipping it into a jar of peanut butter. And for me, that is the Kit Kat. I mean, it is the greatest. It is the greatest candy bar late at night with a beer
and dipping it in peanut butter.
Dipping it in peanut butter. Sometimes we'll take a knife and make a little thing. And number 1 for me, Puck, yes, you can't go wrong. Give me the pumpkin. Give me the Easter Bunny. Yeah. Give me the original. Give me the big cup. Give me whatever. Just give me a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, and I will be a happy man.
It's the OG. It just is. Yeah. I like it. I like your list. I think the one I would have the 100 grand up a little more.
You go 2 or 3 with the 100 grand?
I'm probably going to go 2. I do like a Twix. I do like Kit Kat. I do like that you mentioned Junior Mints because I love Junior Mints.
It's a nice random candy out of
so good.
Just fresh breath, throwing a Junior Mint.
That's what it is too. Yeah, gives you some fresh breath and some candy. And I like to throw them in the freezer, but not too long.
Oh, interesting. I've not tried
not
that.
Too long, and then pull it out. Now Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are there. I mean, I can't get enough of Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. They're glorious.
And when you buy at the Puckett house to hand out, do you usually buy those 5 because you're like, you know what, if we're going to have extras, we might as well have extras.
I buy the ones that I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when there's left over, then I'll eat them all. So.
Are you ready for my top? I got 7 on my list today of just sell or trade, trade or throwback in the back. Number 7 on the list, the Charleston Chew. I've just never understood it. I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Fair.
Number 6 on that list would just be Almond Joy. I'm not a big fan of.
Don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not. And then right underneath that would be Mounds. I mean, is it the same candy bar? Is it different? Almond
Joy. The
same
Mounds? Thing.
Same thing, right? Why would we name it 2 different things?
I don't know.
The Heath bar.
Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of the Heath bar. It feels like almond roca to me without the nuts. I
like a Heath bar.
I'm just not.
Okay. All right.
Here's one that I just think is just. Instead of good and plenty, they should call it awful and plenty because I don't get it. I've never enjoyed it. But that one is a good tradable one. I usually would bring that to school the next day because usually somebody likes the good and plenty. Tied for me for the worst 2 would be, and we had a neighbor that would always give it out, would be just a box of raisins. which I just don't get it. Like, why don't you pull a carrot out of your garden and put it in my bag? And then number one for me, I think it is the worst candy ever invented, and there are people that love it for some reason. And please, it's like kryptonite for me. Keep it away from me, candy corn.
Yeah, don't get it.
I don't understand it. I don't know
Gross.
who invented it. I don't know why people like it.
And it's chalky, and it's chalky. It's not even good. It's
awful. It's awful. So that's
awful.
wrong with that. Top five. If I'm going to be going out today and trying to keep this, slim figure of mine down, the wife says number 5. I need to get some mixed nuts, a bag of smoked salmon. I do enjoy
health. Wait a minute. First, no one's going to hand this out. You want healthy snacks?
Puckett, once again, not an endorsement, but I do enjoy the Trader Joe's Crispy Rice is beautiful snack bar.
Hey, if Trader Joe's wants to be a sponsor, I'm in.
Yeah. And number one for me is this would be kind of fun, and I'm thinking about doing it next Thursday, is just having a large charcuterie board. you can pick your meat to go.
To the kids? Hey, kids.
No,
what, you want some brie and some smoked Gouda?
No, I'm going to have king size for the kids and a charcuterie board and some Coors Light.
No, you need to have alcohol for the. Are you staying home? And if you are staying home, you need to provide something for the adults.
Okay, Puck. Huge argument every year. The wife and I, God
there
bless
is no
her,
debate.
She is incredible, but this is a debate we have every single year. Every single year, she wants to go to her good friend's house and have a Halloween party. I feel like you have to keep somebody at the house.
Yes.
You don't want to be the house that the lights
has
are
the
off,
bowl.
or the bowl.
Well, you can leave the bowl. I mean, you can if you have to.
It takes one junior high group, and that bowl is gone.
That's true. That's the negative.
They'll dump that thing in their little pillowcase, and they're out of there.
Well, I can't wait for the neighbors who do not have kids that live 3 blocks down from us every year. Adult mudslide shots. I can't wait. I go back there I go back there like 4 times. Right in the beginning, then I go back and I come back again. I love it. It's the best. Mudslide shots.
I don't even know what that is.
Just booze, lots of like bourbon and
so each parent comes up and you get a shot, huh?
Yeah, they do shots they give candy to the kids, and then they say, wait, hold on, and then they bring out this platter of booze, and they're like, here you go. Like 1 year, well, they usually do these mudslide shots, and then they'll do Jello shots. It's great.
God, that's awesome.
That's the way you have to have it. I have a bag full of wine, and away you go.
What do you think is going to be the top costume this year? I was trying to think about that. It's usually something trending. I would say, last year I think it was Taylor Swift and Kelsey.
Yes.
I think they're past their prime.
I'm going to do one that I think probably other people will do, but it's going to be funny, but.
It's going to be maybe a little political. Donald Trump, Kamala. I mean,
no. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. I think I'm going to do. I don't care. I'm going to do Scotty Scheffler getting arrested.
Scotty Scheffler getting arrested.
The orange jumpsuit. I got the beard already. Handcuffs. Maybe I have a green jacket. I'm going to put a green jacket on.
You know what I wanted to be was this year. I'm thinking about doing it. Is a Costco sampler lady.
Yes.
I want to sit up.
Oh my God! Now I've got an idea of if I don't do Scheffler. Oh my, that is unbelievable. Oh, you've got to do it.
Sampler lady. I want to have like little beanie weenies.
Oh,
yes. And then even if nobody's there, I'm going to just read them. These are good protein. They only take 15 minutes.
And they're just $9.99. Get 2 for $20. They're on for sale. Oh, take one, please. Take one.
In freezer number 2, you can get them now.
Oh.
Sorry, that's just one.
That's Mel. Shout out to Mel in the background. That's Melanie Egan. She is the real estate star for everyone in the South Sound.
Ever need any help with your real estate, Puck? Melanie Egan.
I love that idea. Now that you got me thinking of that, if I don't go with Scheffler, I'm gonna steal your Costco idea, but not go as the sample. Not go as the sample person. I'm gonna go as the man or the woman at the front who does the receipt check. And just walk around and look at it and look at everyone and go, Yep, you got it.
Yep. And then what? How do we know? I mean, I get a lot of smiley faces when I go through, but is everybody getting that smiley face with a phone number on it?
Meet me behind the Costco. Meet me behind the tire spot. Yeah.
Hey,
no, I don't think so. Just you.
You and I and a chicken bake.
God, my kid is begging me. It must be a TikTok craze.
Chicken
right?
bakes?
Yeah, it's because it's the dad and the kid that do the thing on TikTok. But he's like, can we go to Costco and get the chicken bake and the big cookie? I'm like, why? Like, why are you begging for this? But it's some TikTok craze. So.
My kid did you get 2 cookies and the ice cream and pop them
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, we got to wrap up. But before we go, where are you at tonight?
Well,
big game of the week.
I'm going to tell you what, Puck. I've been asked to rank your high schools on big game night, and I will just say it's a roller coaster because every year is different. You can't, every year some schools have different spirit, but this school consistently over the last 15 years is been top 5 every time we've gone there. That is Sunset Chevrolet Stadium, home of the Sumner Spartans.
Great spot.
Keith Ross is the coach. They have one of the best bands in the state, one of the best student bodies. They've got a game day crew that will be joining me live at 5:45, 6:45. They're taking on Sumner, by the way, number 2 in the state in the 4A, so good team. Taking on Emerald Ridge, another good team, and they're battling for the SPSL title tonight, the North title tonight. So it's homecoming. They have a parade through downtown Sumner. Starts downtown and ends at the Dairy Freeze right before the high school.
Great.
It's homecoming night, so it's going to be a fun one. You know what? We've been north 7 straight weeks in a row, so it's nice for me to finally get a closer game to the Egan compound. But I'm excited. It'll be fun. Yeah.
You got a couple of comments with Mel Egan getting in the camera shot there from Jeff.
What did Jeff say? Smoke show. Well, Jeff, I'd agree. She's got her Lululemons on.
Hey, I'm telling you. Things could be fun in the Egan household tonight if you share that. Chris Egan, King 5. This was one of the best shows we've ever done. He's with us every Friday. It's brought to you by our great friends there at Fat Zach's Pizza. Again, 3 locations in Sumner, Puyallup, South Hill, home of the original No Big Deal Pickle Pizza. Book one of their 3 food trucks for catering, birthday parties, graduations, corporate events. Find Fat Zach's Pizza on Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, fatzachspizza.com. Follow Chris tonight, big game of the week on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Egan 5, and, of course, all of his work up at king5.com. Of course, you can find this episode up on YouTube. You can also listen to it back later on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast, and, of course, up at pucksports.com. You are the very, very best. We say it all the time. Love you. Have a great weekend and have a great Halloween. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Love you too, buddy. I like the show being 43 minutes because that's usually what it takes me to get home on Saturday night from King 5 to Puyallup.
Good.
So I can listen to the whole show tomorrow night on my drive home. So thank you,
all
buddy.
Right. See you, Chris.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Chris Egan again from King 5 every Friday with us as we wrap it up. I mean, he's just he really is the best. And as I said it before, to pay a tribute, to him, Tony Ventrella. If you didn't know Tony, or if you're old enough to remember Tony, that the way that he did it is exactly how kind of Chris does. How Chris does his sportscast and how he kind of carries himself. Ventrella was just like it. All right. Before we go, we got Hey What the Puck brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. We brought this up with Jim, and I was curious and surprised a little bit about his answer. Not fired up for the World Series Game 1 tonight. You got the 2 markets that spend the most amount of money on payroll, along with the Mets. But he's not fired up that it's the 2 of the blue bloods in the sport. I am. To me, this is awesome. I love having blue bloods be in the sport and be in the biggest stage. Some get tired of it, and I do love an underdog story like everybody else does. But when it's 2 franchises, and I think maybe it's more important because it's in this sport. Baseball has taken the back seat, right, to the NFL. Baseball, for that matter, has taken the back seat to the NBA. And if you grow up loving the sport, you want to see baseball more on the bigger stage. And for me, I think this is going to get people to tune in more to have the Dodgers and the Yankees playing in the World Series. I think that's Yankees 41st appearance. Dodgers, I'm spitballing, 26, I think. I'm for it. 2 huge media markets, but it's beyond the media markets here for a second. Superstars. I mean, absolute 100% first ballot Hall of Fame superstars in Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And then you throw in, I don't know, Juan Soto, who's going to command $600+ million in the offseason. Giancarlo Stanton. I mean, we forget about Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and these guys. So, and just the history of it. The 2, I know it's not old Yankee Stadium, but there's still a history there. And Dodger Stadium is great, and it's going to be spectacular tonight because the weather will be great and the scenery will be awesome, and the sounds of Dodger Stadium and how the audio just reflects, Chavez Ravine inside there. There is so much history with these 2 organizations. I'm excited to see it on the biggest stage. So I'm excited to watch it tonight. And to watch it over here over the next week or so, to watch the World Series. So I'm fired up for it. I don't know if other people are or not. It's going to get huge TV ratings. I can't wait to see it. All right. That is Hey, What the Puck. It's all brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle, your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online, restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. In case you missed any of today's show, it will be podcasted up soon on YouTube. We do the full show, then we separate the interviews, so those will be up there. And we do the same thing for Apple, Spotify, whatever a podcast platform that you listen to. And, of course, one-stop shop, all at pucksports.com. Now, if you want to Android users, real quick, Puck Sports Mobile, it's closer. The Google Play needs more people to test it out. I went on Twitter. Email me if you are an Android user and can open up the app once a day just to test it. Send me an email, puck@pucksports.com. I'll forward it on to Jacob, the app guy, and he will take care of you, walk you through the steps, what you got to do. You just got to download the app if you have an Android phone. Open up one day a week so you can test it. And then we need 10 people. I think we've got 4 or 5 now. So we need 5 more people. But we can take more. So, more the merrier. So email me and then I'll forward your email along. Puck@pucksports.com. There's also, I sent a link also up on Twitter. You can check that out. Puck 2040 on Twitter. There's also another link I can put out to our listeners as well. But this is kind of the final stage. Then once we get it done, will be great. And then for you Android users, you can listen to the Puck Sports mobile app. For iOS users, it's available up there right now. All right, that's it. That's all the housekeeping. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Go Cougs. Go Hawks. We'll talk to you on Monday. As always, let's hear it. We promise to be better. See you.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!